In January 1982, the Commodore 64 personal computer was introduced with a 64K built-in memory for under $600.
Quavers help GIant retrieve all 10 packs in Pushover. Grand Prix, 16 international tracks and complete coverage of 26...
Amiga.
Into the wonderful, 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 into the wonderful.
Okay, we're just going to demonstrate the Commodore 65 in action here, so we can see we're just starting it up normally in Commodore 65 mode, and the opportunity to have a look at the startup banner there. And what should we do? We'll jump to 64 mode. Like on the 128, you can go 64, and there we have it. It takes a bit more of the screen. It has smaller borders than traditional 64, and here you can just see I'm just typing some letters in different colors so that you can see with the RGB red on blue is actually quite clear. You get no chromatic distortion because we're using RGB. So that's one nice thing actually about the 65. So we'll just chuck a disk in here and restart. We've got an auto start file. We'll start in the 64 mode by doing Commodore reset, like on the 128. Nice and convenient with the reset button there on the left. Now if we just reset normally into 65 mode, this will read the auto start file off the disk that I put there. So it's telling us some things there, so we'll jump to 64 mode and we'll load that up. Notice that the disk drive device 8 is the default device. There's no tape support whatsoever on the 65, so they've skipped the need for us to put the device number for the disk drive in. And so here's a little text editor, a clone of the MG editor that people might have used on Unix systems back in the mid-late 90s, just to demonstrate that you can make some real software for the 65. So we've got a nice status bar at the bottom, like any nice Emacs clone, and we'll just load a file in, and there we go. So this is 80 column mode in Commodore 64 mode on the 65, and there's plenty of CPU in fast mode to scroll the 80 column screen. So this is a bit of a note that I made about this disk when I wrote the code, golly gosh, about 16 years ago now, when I first got the 65 and did a bit of work on it. And we'll show that Commodore 65 demo, which is possibly the only demo scene kind of demo that was made for the 65. And don't try and contact me with those details, they're long out of date. So we'll load the demo up here. So this demo has a modified SID tune that runs in stereo. Not that you'll probably be able to hear that particularly well here on YouTube. And it really is just a very basic demo. So we've just got a few greets flying out at the start. And there we go, we're going to some nice raster color bars. So just demonstrating that there's way more than 16 colors at play here. Very simple, but there we have it. So now I wrote a BMP file viewer, so it just views standard 320 by 200 256 color Windows bitmap files. Now, reportedly, one of the reasons that the Commodore 65 was actually cancelled was that the disk drive was too slow. And you can actually see here, so to load the whole image is 64 kilobytes, and it's going to take something like 42 seconds. Now, it is true that from 65 mode, this would actually be quite a lot faster. It would probably actually be sort of 5 or 10 times faster to load. So I think the concerns about the disk drive speed were a little bit overrated, particularly given that everyone ends up making fast loaders, and the disk drive, in theory, can read about 30 kilobytes a second. But you can see from that image that it can actually display 256 colors at 320 by 200, which in fact the Amiga 500 couldn't do. And so here we're just loading up another image, which is a nice image of a Julia set. This isn't being calculated in real time, of course, it's just loading it from the image. But you can certainly see how, without making a decent fast loader or further improvements to the DOS, that people might have been a little bit concerned about the disk drive speed. So we just chug our way through. Pretty much there, and we'll just pan around a little bit so that you can see that it is indeed using full 256 colors. It's not simply a 32 color image like on the 500. So there you have it, a working Commodore 65.
Sai a cosa mai incontro